Hi, we're Latvian Diaries Abroad. I'm Kitty.
And I'm Līgo, and today we're going to talk about Līgo, Jāņi, and Summer Solstice. So, Kitty, do you want to explain shortly, like, what Līgo and Jāņi is and how it differs from Summer Solstice?
Um, yes. So, us Latvians, we are still celebrating some pagan traditions back in the day when we were following the sun cycle. um, so for us it's quite important because we're still celebrating it to this day, and us both quite enjoy this celebration actually. Um, so it's a bit different to summer solstice itself, even though it is a celebration about summer solstice. But summer solstice itself happens on 21st of June, but the Jāņi and Līgo celebration is on the 24th, 23rd to 24th of June. Um, I think there's been a slight few day delay over some period of time, historically, when it kind of some people felt it suited better, and also they could connect this name Giannis to the celebration. um, Interestingly enough, me and Liggy were just researching a bit more about the celebration because we realized even though we know some things, but it's just kind of like, your family tradition, what you've heard from your family. I personally don't remember learning anything a bit more in depth about it in school. So yeah, it was interesting to realize that yes, the celebration is all about the sun. It is the longest day. We're celebrating the longest day and shortest night. With um, fire, bonfire. We celebrate with bonfire, food, beer, celebrations, just singing, dancing, and building our own little um, what's it called, breaths, or I call them flower crowns for the ladies, and for the men they would have crowns made out of oak tree branches that would symbolize strength, and also because it's round, it's again about the sun. Interestingly enough, we would make our own cheese that would also be round. Again, we're kind of honoring the sun. Um, yeah, I think. Well, yeah. Another thing is it's all about um, celebrating the sun, honoring the fact that it gives us more fertility, like for the crops and whatnot, but also for humans to bring more children to this earth. Um, and we would have all kinds of superstitions that you would have to follow for you to keep safe, be lucky, get better growing crops, and all kinds of stuff like that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think that's all from my side. Is there anything like you want to mention that you just learned or knew about before?
Um, I don't know. I think you summarized it very well. And yes, I agree. We haven't like learnt about summer solstice and Jāņi and Līgo in school much. But then thinking about it, I don't think we learnt about Christmas that much either.
True.
Because in history, we most of the time we only talked about wars and things that happened like very far in the past, and not about things that actually genuinely we should know about. So it is like just like passed down from year to year, from parent to parent, and then there's no wonder some of the traditions are different than the others. But basically, Līgo Svētki, which is summer solstice basically for us, um, is about like I don't know, appreciating the nature, appreciating the sun, and just celebrating and all of these traditions and things that we do and offer, and like the fires and flower crowns and everything. It's just to be more connected with nature. And I think I don't know, I find it very beautiful, and I know it's very paganist of us, and we have a few pagan traditions and pagan gods and everything. But I feel like that is like such a big part of our nature and culture that we still, to this day, even though we are technically a Christian country now, we still, I don't know, follow it all, and it is important, and it's one of the biggest celebrations in Latvia, and I think it's very cool.
Yeah, it is. I love it. I do love it, exactly. The fact that technically we do have a religion, but then again, not many people I know are religious. But yeah, I'm so glad that we have kept this tradition alive so far. It is changing. It is becoming a bit more modern these days, but it's amazing. Yeah, it's the nature, and also it's like it's the community, because the family gathers together. It's like the grandparents and parents and like the cousins and everyone just kind of can come together, or families can celebrate it individually as well. Like it's just
Yes, and then in the end of the night, like the whole town gets together to like dance and sing and hopefully not get too drunk, but that never happens. It's just so much fun, and there's this big sense of community. And even though you don't know everybody there, and even though that there are way too many people, you just feel this big sense of belonging. And that is the most beautiful feeling I think I get in Latvia. It's during Līgo and during what we have is large pleasure when it's also that is more to honor the people, and it happens in November. But these two like times in year is usually when I feel the most Latvian,
yes.
and I love it.
Yeah, and around that time, it actually feels very odd that nothing really happens here in the UK. Like it's a
Oh
lot
yes.
more in my mind then. I think these are the times where you do feel a bit more homesick. I'm glad that this year we will get to celebrate Summer Solstice. But yeah, so like over the years since I moved to the UK, I really couldn't really celebrate it like properly. It didn't really happen like that. It's either just me and my like other two friends that know about it, and maybe we would kind of try and do something, but it wouldn't be the same. I just kind of like you forcing it on other people. um, so no, it's yeah, it's amazing. It's very magical. I'd say it's like yeah, for our own traditions, these are the magical times. I think it's very powerful, and yeah, it's very beautiful.
Yes, yes. So yes, as Kitty said, this year we're gonna be in Latvia for summer solstice, and our plan is to enjoy it and do things properly. And we're gonna get up early and go and collect flowers from meadows and make our flower crowns, and I don't know, maybe even make cheese. I doubt it, but yeah, it's just so magical, and it feels like, for example, I haven't been back in 5 years. This is gonna be my first time back, and even though I know I'm gonna feel like a stranger because I'm renting out an Airbnb, I know I will feel like at home. It's gonna feel very homely to me, and it's all just because of these traditions and because of the nature and because of this sense of belonging, because everybody celebrates Līgo, even though like in Latvia, from what I remember, we had a big issue about Russian Latvians living there. Even they love
Yeah.
Līgo, even they celebrate it, so it is very big and important.
Yeah. It's just everyone kind of gathers together. For some, it is kind of an excuse to just kind of get wasted, and really, really drunk. But still, it kind of happens in this community, um, feel. Obviously, there are groups of people that kind of overdo it, but overall, it's quite a beautiful. It's just amazing. We should definitely take some videos and whatnot and post it on Instagram to show how it looks for us this year. I'm excited. I really want to. I don't even know if I ever learned how to properly make the flower crown, because there is a special technique how you wrap the flowers around. So I don't know. We'll see. We can try it this year. If not, I will just find someone who can make it for me.
I'm more nervous about collecting the wrong
Flowers.
flowers because you have to have trade flowers. like as in the song, which means 27 different ones.
Oh.
But from what I can remember growing up, and going to the meadow with like my family, my mom would be like, "Don't touch that one, it's poisonous. Don't touch that one, it's poisonous."
Really?
And they all like, they're either you can find poisonous flowers in the field, or they can mean something different. Because there's, for example, this tree that we shouldn't be touching because it means like the bad tree. But so that's why we only have the oak leaves, and like these different flowers symbolize something different. And I don't know. It's just it's silly, and I in my brain understand that it's just a belief and it doesn't actually like mean anything. But in my heart, I'm a Latvian, so I have to do it correctly.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think, yeah, I never actually paid that much attention about how many flowers and stuff were in the crowns. Um, but I do, uh, do you have any, I mean, I know we're not going off the questions we have there, but like, do you have any specific activity or superstition or anything that comes to your mind that you really, really like from the summer solstice?
So for me, my favorite one has always been getting up very early, well, early-ish in the morning, because it is the longest day, so it's gonna be bright no matter what time you wake up. And then just getting together with my sister, we both would like get on our bikes when we got older. We would ride to the meadows, and it was like lovely. But when we were younger, it would be all family getting in the car and just parking, and then trying to find all these flowers. And that is one of my like favorite memories. It's just finding all these flowers, enjoying the peacefulness of the meadow. And the scents and smells are obviously amazing, because I grew up in quite a rural area, so it wasn't like big city next to us. It was just meadows and forests, and it was lovely. And then we'd obviously be making these flower crowns. We always made one even for my dog, and then we dance around the fire. I never did the jumping over the fire because I'm scared. And then I don't know if it's the same for your family, but for us it was a tradition to throw it up on an apple tree, and for girls, and however many tries it takes you, that means in that many years you're gonna get married.
Yeah.
Which obviously is just a superstition, and obviously didn't come true because I would have had to be married by the age of 60. But I think it's just I don't know, it's nice and lovely, and I think that is one of my favorites. And then all of the like going to the town, the center of the city, and dancing with all of the other strangers, and just not caring about how you look like because you're genuinely having fun, and wearing dresses. That was the like only day I gave myself an exception of wearing dresses, because I was like, I'm meant to be a woman and look like a woman and be girly, and I will be girly for that because it's a tradition.
Wow, yeah.
What about you, Kitty?
Oh, that's a very specific one. That's really good. I know I asked the question and I didn't really think about my part. But I did remember. Actually, what came to my mind. Oh, I'm sorry. What came to my mind at that point in time was the throwing the crowns on the trees. I don't know. For us, it wasn't specifically what kind of a tree you're throwing it on. You just have to throw it onto some tree. And to be honest, for us, the closest things were pine trees, so they're really, really tall, or oak trees. They were still really tall, so it would always be hard to get anything on them. So it would never work. But yeah, I do know the tradition that basically how many tries you with how many tries you get your crown on the tree, that's how long you have to wait to get married. Yeah, that's very funny. That is very funny. What I do like, similar to you, I think is the preparation on the day. I don't remember waking up early that day, to be honest. It was more, on my side, it was more about staying up as late as you can. Just kind of like, technically, you should wait for the next sunrise because it would be only, as you said, like
Yes,
4.5 hours
yes.
away. But I don't know if I ever actually did that as a kid. And maybe the adults did, but
I definitely didn't do that as a
yeah,
kid, I don't
yeah,
think, because I remember it getting
it
dark
was
and
really low.
us going to the dance and then going home and
Yeah.
sleeping. But when I became an older teenager, I definitely stayed up the whole night And then because I was already awake in the morning, I was like, well, I'm not going to sleep in the morning. So I'd stay awake for like 48
Jesus.
hours. But it was like cool. And I don't know, one of my, this is going to sound so odd, um, but one of the years, it was Līgo day. And obviously, I celebrated. I think that was the year I actually didn't celebrate it with my family. It was the only year I celebrated it with my friends. And I remember I got home in the morning. So it was Jāņi and then. Uh, and Brexit was happening. Like people were voting for it on that, like the night before.
Mm.
And I remember just putting on radio outside at like 6 in the morning while everybody else is sleeping in tents and just listening and then announcing that Brexit is gonna happen. And I was so sad because obviously at that moment in time, it was my dream to just get here. So I was like, that's it. I'm never gonna make it. But yeah, here I am.
Wow. Wow, that's a full circle moment right there. What? I don't remember anything. I mean, I remember like people talking about everyone voting for Brexit here in the UK, and later on in school, I think we talked about it a lot, kind of from the European politics aspect. But yeah, that's funny. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I ever really stayed super late. Maybe till like 1, 2 a.m. max. But it was fun. I don't know. Yeah, it was always for us. It was always just stay as long as you can up. Um, so yeah, another thing. What I was yeah. Another thing that I quite enjoyed. Not sure how often we did it, but I did enjoy the Latvian folk songs. Like people, like everyone singing some songs together. It's throughout the. To be fair, it starts early on. If you're in Latvia now, I'm sure in shops they are putting folk songs
Oh
everywhere
yes,
now.
it's like
Yeah.
Christmas.
Um,
We start
but I would
early.
I really enjoyed it. I really like because it's the spirit. I don't know. It just felt so good that everyone's singing. You know, you don't care if you can sing or you cannot sing. You just follow the lyrics
Yes.
however you can, and it's just beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what we're gonna experience when we go to Zaļumballa,
Yeah.
which means green ball
Yeah.
in English, pretty much. Green prom, green ball.
Or
Um,
herbal.
just because it's all to do with nature, yes. And it's just, I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear all of the
Yes.
Schlägers and all of the folk songs and just sing
Yeah.
along and be brought back to being a teenager again. I think it's gonna be magical, and I hope that my partner is gonna enjoy it because he's obviously never experienced anything like it. Um, he's never been to Latvia, so it's gonna be like very Latvian from the
Yeah.
very first
He's gonna be thrown
moment we're
into
there.
it,
So
deep into it, and I'm getting goosebumps just talking about this. So I am really excited. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Well, why did we want to really make an episode on this in general? Because for both of us, it's quite a big thing. It's honestly as big, if not bigger, than Christmas for us, for our culture. And it's been weird living in the UK without really anyone else kind of like talking about it, or doing anything about it. Um, and also the fact that we are going to Latvia very, very soon, and we will get to experience it, and hopefully then in the next episode we kind of will, um, yeah, tell you how it all went and whatnot. But yeah, so what about? I mean, we mentioned the fact that clearly no one here really celebrates summer solstice, not that we know of. But have you done anything, like let's say in these 5 years, have you tried doing something specific or not really? You just kind of moved on with your days, um,
um,
regards to.
I don't. Whenever it comes close, I get very homesick, and I keep thinking about all of the traditions, all of the songs and everything. And then I'm always like, oh, I could organize something. I could just invite people and have a bonfire, and just cook some sausages or whatever. But then I know that it's not gonna feel the same. And then I always have this fear that nobody would come, and then I'd feel lonely. on summer solstice, which is like so important. Plus, in this country, I'm working a regular retail job, and it's not a bank
Yeah.
holiday. So most of the years, I have to be working. I'm working the next day, so it's not like I can properly celebrate it the Latvian style, where I don't go to sleep and I stay up until the sunrise and just dance the whole night and keep the bonfire lit the whole night while the sun is sleeping. Um, I don't know, it's very hard and I always feel guilty about it. But I feel like after this year, if I don't manage to go back for Līgo to Latvia, I definitely want to start something here just for myself and my friends and the closest to me to let them in this magical moment and magical traditions that mean so much to me, and I'm sure that they would love to learn something about it.
Mhm.
What about you, Kitty? Have you been celebrating it?
I feel like it's quite similar, to be fair. The first summer without being in Latvia, just being in the UK, I also just very recently, I think, got a job, so I didn't really do anything. I don't even remember doing anything with my friends or anything. Maybe, maybe we went for a walk. Maybe we talked about it. I'm not too sure, but I can't remember anything specific. Then the next years, I think I remember this one year. Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah, I don't think I was doing anything besides this one year. I think it was after COVID. It was just after COVID. I remember going to a meadow with my friend, and we did collect some flowers to attempt making flower crowns at home, which we did. And then there was this kind of a illegal gathering, I think, because it was after COVID. I'm not sure if the parties were allowed at the time. That I attended to with my little flower crown. It wasn't summer solstice related at all. It was just kind of a gathering of people. Um, yeah, that's really it. That was the closest thing that what I had done, to be honest. I think the next year, I think I moved to Nottingham. So again, around that time, maybe I went for a walk. I'm sure I'm trying just personally for myself just to be outside at least for a little bit, like be in nature. Other than that, not really. The year after, I found out that there are quite a few Latvians in the UK. So there is this one place that do this summer solstice festival, but it is so inaccessible for people who don't have a car or don't drive at all. It's so difficult to get to there, and then you would have to stay there like somehow, either Airbnbs or hotels or tents. So yeah, I didn't get to do anything as well. I think I was it definitely brings me down. Like, if I remember feeling quite sad around that time, like, "Oh, I know this thing is happening, I can feel the energy, but like I can't do anything about it." And then I think last year I did go home, and but we stayed in the city with my family, and there were some concerts, which was lovely. There were still quite a few people, but I don't know, like there was something still missing. I didn't feel I enjoyed it definitely, because that was the first time in a long time I could celebrate it, but it wasn't like a traditional, like it wasn't fully in nature. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this year's celebrations.
Yay.
This should be like advertising for Latvia and summer solstice. People, please go
Oh,
enjoy,
yeah.
because I do know like there are like some really beautiful parks that organize like proper like festivities. You don't even have to organize it yourself. You can just attend it and participate in it, and that's also very nice. Yeah, which we're kind of gonna do this year, aren't we? So yeah, we're definitely in Sigulda, but then I don't know if they're doing anything this year, but like by Turaidas Pils, Turaidas Castle, they have like a large space outside. I know years back they used to do like this festivities, something for families and whatnot.
We could go there during the day
Yeah, we
and
could
check
check
it
out.
out. Maybe they will help us with our flower
Yes.
crowns or whatever. Um,
Oh, that would be nice.
maybe we can buy them from them. We'll see. I definitely want to make my own, but if I only can make a bracelet, I'm happy with
Yeah.
that too.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh, I'm excited. I can't. And I do wish, like, every friend that I have here in the UK that isn't from Latvia, I really, really wish I could just bring them all and experience this because it's just so, I don't know, it's just different. It is so different. It's outside in the nature and people singing. Yeah, there might be some little concerts with folk songs. I mean, I know they wouldn't understand the lyrics or anything, but I think they would feel the energy and kind of
Yes. We could organize that, just like rent
trippy.
out this big massive
Yeah,
house with this big massive
yeah,
garden and just do it.
for sure.
1 year. 1 year.
Mm. Yeah.
So also another reason why we kind of wanted to touch on Līgo and Jāņi and Summer Solstice and about our Latvian traditions is because we are Latvians and we are living in a different country and we're foreigners. So it is, the longer we're here, the more we realize how we're kind of out of touch with our traditions in a way, because what is traditional for us isn't traditional for other people, and it can even be something small but like significant, as for example Christmas Day. We celebrate Christmas on the Christmas Eve, not on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
so that is like a big one in this country. But and then there's days like this, like Līgo and Jāņi, and nothing is happening here. And for us, there's like some significant dates, especially for me, when I look in the calendar and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna feel so patriotic and so Latvian, and it's a magical day, and all of these. You can feel the energy and the just the vibes and everything. And here in the UK, it's completely different. Same as here, it also comes the other way around, because I'll be like, oh, it's a bank holiday here in the UK, and I know nothing about it, and to me, it's just a regular day. So it works both ways, and I hope I can learn a bit more about bank holidays and traditions here. But I feel like people here sometimes don't even
Yeah.
celebrate or do anything on the bank
I
holidays. It's just and I as an excuse not to
Yeah.
work, really.
I do find it weird. I do think, I mean, I haven't asked specifically around, but no one really talks about it. What is a bank holiday? Does it represent anything or is it just like an additional day? We've lived here for 5 years and like literally nothing really happened. People are just using it as an extra weekend day almost, you know. So for some reason, yeah, initially as well for me it was like, well, it's just a day, it doesn't really mean anything. I'd rather have my dates off than these bank holidays off. But then again, if you're the only one who has these Līgo and Jāņi off and the rest of the people are working, it kind of doesn't work. So yeah, now I'm getting used to bank holidays. But yeah, I wish if someone knows a bit more about them, is there any tradition behind it or not really? That would be very educational for us, I think. Um,
Yes, yes. Please share in the comments or just message us and educate
yeah.
us.
um, well, you already briefly touched that you would potentially like to do some tradition, some form of tradition moving forward. Um, so I assume you wanna keep certain Latvian traditions alive. Is this just Līgo and Jāņi, like the solstice, or is it something else? And how do you imagine it right now, if you imagine it right now?
Um, so for me, I'm a big family person, although it doesn't seem that way because I haven't seen my family in 5 years, but that's not the point. I'm very big on family, and I hope that when I have children, my partner is gonna be hopefully very into me, and hopefully they're gonna want to know my traditions, know where I come from, and obviously the children are going to be half Latvian then, and I would love for them to learn all of the traditions and experience them. And if I could, I'd honestly want to go experience Summer Solstice, Jāņi, Līgo every year with them in Latvia. Um, Hopefully, I can be rich enough to afford it, but then also I don't know how it would happen with the school, because obviously I don't know if children are still in school at this time, because the school system is so much different than in Latvia, and I still don't know anything about it because I don't have children. And when the time will come, I will learn and I'll be great at it and understand
Yeah.
it. But yes, so yes, I'd really would love to keep some of the traditions that are very important to me and our whole nation alive, such as Līgo and some of the Easter traditions that are also more pagan ones than the about Jesus Christ, and obviously the same with winter solstice, not Christmas. Because actually, fun fact, in Latvian, it is winter solstice, not Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's technically nothing to do with Christ because we're pagans. But it's fun. But yes, I don't know. To me, that is like the important ones, and maybe like large pleasure, where we go with our light sticks. I don't know how to call them in
Torch.
English, and we just
Torch,
torches, and it's dark and everybody's singing like Latvian songs, and that is one of my favorite memories when I grew up, because
going in the
that
March.
falls on in my brother's my brother's birthday used to be that day, and I remember everything was cold and I was walking with these like big humans because my brother's 7 years older, and I was like with his friend group and everybody was singing and it was magical. It's dark outside, so all you can see are these torches, and all you can hear is people singing, and you march across like just around the streets of your hometown or a different town, and then there's like this big magical concert, and it's just to honor the people who died in war to protect Latvia, and that is when we celebrate it. And it's just, I don't know, it means like it makes me feel so at home even when I think about it. It gives me the feelings the whole week. That week gives me like this big sense of belonging and knowing who I am, because so on the 11th of November is the large pledge day, and when we go with the torches and we remember all of the fallen ones. And then on the 18th of November is the Independence Day of Latvia, the birthday of Latvia. And it's the whole week. I just feel so patriotic. And they used to do this light show in the capital, and it's that I don't know. It's just something about the darkness and seeing like these lights that are there for purpose and on purpose, and it's just magical. And I kind of want my children to experience that at least once in their lives, because I think I've properly only been to that torch walk once, and then our school made it obligatory, and then we'd go with like classes. But that one evening, one night, the best night of my life. And I think I was only like what, 11.
Yeah.
So it meant a lot to me.
Yeah, and we didn't really know what it was back then, I imagine, as well. It was just kind of like, you would know around that time everyone gets a bit more festive, in a sense that like we would dress up a bit more. You would wear like white shirts, and or like in the recent years you would also wear the Latvian flag ribbon. Oh, that would be really cool. And I know in school time there was something, school would be decorated. It's just like, yeah, it's like honor and like celebration and patriotism. And it's just, yeah, it's just being very proud and thankful that we exist and that our country exists and the people fought for it. And it paid off, really, didn't it? Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I agree with these times. So it's summer solstice. It's this 11th to 18th of November. November in general, I feel like it's quite a big month for Latvians, but it's like, it means nothing. It's already Christmas here, so it's kind of like, it's kind of hard actually. I remember last year it was kind of like, like it doesn't give you the same feels, like unless you specifically do something for it. And also I agree with Easter time. Yeah, it's completely different, like coloring eggs and then egg fights and whatnot. And then Oh, and going on swings just so insects wouldn't bite you in the summer. I love that superstition.
Oh, yes.
As a kid, it was probably my favorite thing. Um, and I also wanted to say, I think in May, yeah, around was it 4th of May, the us regaining independence really. Um, that is relatively big thing. Um,
Yes. I think we do the white
Boy,
table
cloth. Yeah, 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 yeah,
celebration. Yeah. So everybody like kind of dresses up
yeah,
smartly, like with the flags and everything, and comes together to like this big clean table and have has a meal. And I remember we did that in
yeah,
school, and yeah, it is it's important. Yes.
yeah. Exactly. And over recent years, actually, what I realized that a lot of foreign people like the fact in August, was it 21st or 23rd, where there was a human chain from within the Baltics to kind of call for help for other countries to recognize us as countries that we are independent. We should be independent after the um after being occupied for a long time. So around that time, when I start seeing online people sharing this post, I feel as well a little bit uplifted and like proud to be Latvian.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I love that whatever we do, there's always songs in a
Yes.
way. Like we're such a sing-songy nation that we'll sing about. I don't know, because even when like I think we touched on it a few episodes back when we talked about Russia and Ukraine and how Latvians made this big concert. The next day it happened, and people came and sung and donated all of this money, and just they're out in the dark. And
Mm.
I find it so beautiful because whatever we do it with our voices and our bodies, and we're just humans at the end of the day. And I feel like Latvia like really reminds me of that, like the traditions we have. It just reminds me that at the end of the day, we're all human,
Yeah.
we're part of the nature, and that's all it matters.
And exactly.
And I find that so, yeah, so and that's so beautiful and empowering, and I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, on important times we know that we can come together and be as a actual community, because weirdly enough, I think on everyday life we're kind of introverted, independent. Well, not everyone, obviously, and it also depends on the families, but I think from my perspective, it felt like we're quite. Everyone's trying to be by
Yeah,
themselves, right?
we're very distant as people, and we don't want to
Yeah.
talk to strangers, and we don't want to be bothered. And if somebody even talks to you or looks at you, you're like,
But
that is odd, that is strange, that's not Latvian of you. But when something big is happening, then we're all like together,
yeah.
and it doesn't matter if somebody looks at you or if somebody talks to you, because we're together and we're united. And yes, that is
It is.
quite beautiful how we can like flip like
Yeah.
that.
It's funny, yeah. We're Latvians really like their summer, no, like their, yeah, summer solstice, obviously, but also the song and dance festival. Um, yeah, and hockey, ice hockey. Everyone's very proud of that. That's a big
Oh yes.
thing that makes everyone come together. At least last year, because our hockey team got quite far ahead, didn't they?
Yes, we got a bronze for the first time
Yeah.
ever. Um, this year we didn't do quite as
Oh.
well, but it's okay.
It's okay.
We have Olympic qualifiers ahead of us now. I'm very into ice hockey, if you couldn't tell, guys.
Yeah. Ah, I wish. Yeah, actually, watching ice hockey, I remember as a kid, it felt quite a big deal around this time as well, I guess, because the season opens and whatnot. But back then, didn't really like watching sports on TV, and I still don't really like watching sports on TV. Like, I can't stay too focused unless I'm really bored and there's nothing else to do, then maybe. But watching it in real life, because I was fortunate enough getting some tickets when I was volunteering and watching some hockey games in person, that was amazing. That made me feel like, you know what? This, I really like this. I would love to do more often. So yeah,
Yes,
hopefully.
yes. I love that even during the games, like we chant our songs, like Latvian songs. For example, when we have to play in power play against us, we have this like very traditional Latvian song which like has nothing to do with ice hockey and it's not that traditional, but it goes like vai tu zini mana mīļā,
Yeah.
kāpēc vienmēr jābūt tā? And I just love it. And even now that I was watching ice hockey on telly, and obviously the commentators were speaking English, and you could all you could hear was people chanting Latvia, and I was just sitting here in Wales, in tiny town of Aberystwyth, and being like, I feel like I'm at home because I could hear the loud crowd chanting it, and every time I needed to sing that song, I went through for my country and I sang that
Yeah.
song. And it sounds so odd because nobody else probably did, but to me, like, it's such a tradition to sing that song in that moment and for those 2 minutes that it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
As I said, we love our
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah, weirdly enough. And it doesn't even matter. That's the thing. All these songs, it's like everyone would sing them. You don't even think twice if your voice is nice or anything. Like you just join in.
Yeah, because that's not what
Yeah.
matters. You just have to be united and be heard
Yeah.
and be there in a moment. Yeah.
Ah, I don't know. I'm so charged up. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. Just two
Yes.
weeks and we'll be
Yeah,
there.
and we'll be experiencing it firsthand in the homeland. So yeah. Well, I feel like even this is probably going to be the shortest episode we've done so far, but I feel like we've covered a lot.
Yes.
And should we then realize our idea, maybe insert a little bits of some traditional songs if we can find them? That would be cute.
Yeah.
Any?
Yeah, so we enjoy the songs,
Yeah.
guys. If we can find them. You should definitely check us out on Instagram because we'll be posting about how it's going in Latvian, how we're enjoying our Līgo and Jāņi, and we hope that you enjoy it and maybe one day we see you there.
Yes. And we can celebrate together. Or you can celebrate it at home now. You've learned a little bit about it. If you're interested in it. Okay, enjoy the song.
Yes, all you need to do is make a flower crown, drink some beer, eat some cheese, and just be by fire and enjoy nature and sing some songs.
Yeah. That's it, really. It was very beautiful. Okay. Well, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.